How's it going, guys? EA just dropped a ton of NHL 18 information. First off, as you can see on the screen there, Connor McDavid is the cover athlete, so I think that's awesome. Madden got Tom Brady, FIFA got Ronaldo, NHL's getting McDavid. I think that's just an awesome cover athlete to have. Obviously, I'm a huge McDavid fan. I'm wearing the jersey tee right now, if you guys can see that, and I can't wait. I think the cover looks sick. I think it's right there, yeah. So Xbox One, PS4 covers. You got the Young Stars edition, which I believe includes this special Connor McDavid hut card, 85 overall, but it's like a hut rookie card. So maybe there's other cards like that for Austin Matthews, whoever. I think that card looks really sick as well. As you can see, it's an action shot, so we'll be seeing more action shots in Hockey Ultimate Team. I think that's definitely a possibility. Also, right there we have first look at the new gold pack. So the gold plus pack there has McDavid on it. It's also a bit more of a gold look than a yellow look. I feel like the current gold packs, I would call them yellow. This one's actually gold, so that's cool to see. And as you can see, if you do pre-order the Young Stars edition, you get that Connor McDavid hut card. You also get the Connor McDavid ESHL celebration. And I'm pretty sure celebration just like that's already in NHL 17, but maybe this one's a bit more unique to McDavid. As well, you'll get 20 hut gold plus packs, so I think that's the same as always. It's like 2 a week for 10 weeks. So that's pretty cool to see. Also, guys, right here's the button to watch the trailer, so I figured I would show it for you guys. I can't play the music, unfortunately, otherwise I'll get a copyright strike. So if you haven't seen this yet, definitely go and check it out and then come back. But really sick trailer. The first half or so was just like real-life NHL footage, showing off the new generation of players. You got McDavid, Matthews, Laine, Eichel, Marner. Kind of all the regular big names you'd think of. And obviously NHL 18 is all about like the new generation of players. They talk about speed, skill. They have a bunch of new deeks. Right there, it showed Laine. It said be humble. Definitely should have had Laine sitting down. I think that was a missed opportunity. But anyways, they have the real life footage there leading to the gameplay, get you pumped up. Marner on the breakaway here with the Forsberg move. One of many new deeks. Right there, you just have Pasternak snipe one. So this next deke, or actually I don't know if it's a deke, but the play there from Sheary between the legs, saucer pass to Gensel, shades of like Max Domi and Bo Horvat in London. Ho-Sang there with the flick over top of Murray. So that was actually like the Datsuk flick. Watch this again. So he comes down on the toe drag, flicks it over top of him. Murray does get a piece of it, so it could have been cleaner, but that's one of the new deeks. It's so awesome when you pull it off. I forget the exact controls, but basically you can do like a fake shot into a toe drag, into the Datsuk flip. So now you can kind of like chain deeks. It's going to be so amazing. You got PewDiePie and Casey Neistat there, but anyways, just one of the many new deeks. I think that one's my favorite though. Like when you flick it over the goalie, it's definitely the hardest deke to pull off, but so satisfying. Right there you just have Laine going bar down. Next up here, you have a little spin there, so I think you can spin both forward and backwards, as that one looked like a backwards spin. We got Zetterberg there getting crunched, probably just a preview of the Red Wings season. Draisaitl here, nice little pass off the board, so that is something new as well. I think you can do this in NHL 17, but it's very hard to pull off consistently, but now a lot more consistently. You can actually like aim your passes off the boards to get around defensemen to your players. Right there you can see him pull it off to get, I think, McDavid on the breakaway, who goes between the legs, top shelf, like I said. The Malik goal, essentially, you want to call that. And then right here, the new NHL 3s. So this is a 3-on-3 game mode. This one is actually like the offline one, where you're basically playing against computers. That's why you have the blue ice, and you have like the flames and everything like that. But there's actually a bunch of different 3-on-3 modes. So this looks to be the story mode. I don't know if you can call it a story mode, but it's like a campaign where you play through different games, going up against different opponents. You unlock players to add to your team. You unlock logos and jerseys. There's like different special players that are playing, and it's kind of like I think it's called circuit mode, but like I said, it's essentially a campaign, so that's really cool. You can also do that against your friends online. There's 3-on-3 ESHL. There's like 3-on-3 throughout everything except for Hut, I don't think has 3-on-3, and Draft Champions, I don't think has 3-on-3. I could be wrong on that, but honestly there's so many options with 3-on-3. Personally, I think I'm going to be playing a lot of ESHL 3-on-3s, especially with all the new deeks, the open ice, and it's just going to be so awesome. So just want to give you guys a quick look at that trailer there, kind of a quick breakdown on it. Already covered the cover athlete there. As you guys can see kind of here from the game features, they're really pushing that 3-on-3 in the new 3s mode, as they kind of just want to open up the ice there for you to pull off all the new deeks. So they kind of complement each other well, but I'm definitely excited for it. Obviously, I've gotten hands-on experience with it already, played it, had a lot of fun. I know me and Nash were playing one game, and we're basically just going back and forth, kind of like Call of Duty. If you guys ever played sniper lobbies, where like the last kill has to be like a sick kill, whether it's a 360 no scope or whatever. So when we were playing 3s, the last goal had to be some sick goal. So game went on for a while, but it was a lot of fun. and I honestly can't say I've had that much fun playing NHL in a long time, so I think that's just a good sign of things to come. So next up here, obviously you want to look at the gameplay. That's kind of like the most important thing of any game, I guess you could say. So the ice is your playground. This just kind of lists off a bunch of the new dekes. So you got the between the legs shot as well as between the leg pass. The one-handed dekes as well. You can link your moves together. Like I said, you can kind of call them like a chain deke. On defense is the new defensive skill stick. So the defensive skill stick just gives you a bunch more options on defense. The thing I use the most when I played with it is just kind of having your stick out and just kind of like taking away the passing zone, kind of swinging it side to side. You don't even have to be moving yourself, but just swinging your stick, you can kind of take away different passing zones. Just gives you a lot more options on defense, which you really need to kind of counteract all these new moves on offense. If there wasn't no defensive skill stick, it would just be way too easy, I think, to get around the defenseman. As you can see in the little description there, it says like poke check targeting, extended pokes, and then controlled stick sweeps, just to basically make you a better defenseman. Right here, just talking about the defensive skill stick more, pretty much everything I already said. Creative attack dekes, like I said, just a bunch of new dekes. Honestly, it's going to be so awesome to see what people can pull off, especially with the chain dekes, like the different things. There's a bunch of stuff I was trying, I couldn't get to go, but like one thing I was trying to do was a between the leg datsuk, so like toe drag, put it between the legs, and then flip it over the goalie, but I don't think that one's quite possible, as I think the between the leg deke is its own move, so you can't also like do the datsuk flip with that until you're out of the between the leg deke. So if someone could somehow like glitch it and pull that off, that would just be unreal. That was like the main thing I was trying to pull off. But I'm sure there'll be a ton of highlight reel goals we see from the community. Right here we have creative AI. So this is a thing a bunch of people talk about. AI is not good enough. AI is too good. I think they have done a pretty good job in working on the AI. So creative AI here, basically your AI teammates now leverage the same creative deking and passing that you do. So they're going to know when to open up on the boards, if you can kind of like get that pass up to them. Maybe they're actually going to make a nice deke of their own to open up some space and find you. So this is kind of more for if you're playing Be a Pro, I guess. But I guess if you are playing just regular modes for your AI teammates to open up. It also says how the AI is going to implement the new defensive skill stick just to make them better on defense, so they're not too easy to get around. Right here is talking about authentic 3-on-3 ESHL. So like I said, I am so pumped to play this. I'm a pretty casual ESHL player. I do play LG sometimes, but for me it's basically hut and franchise mode with 3-on-3 ESHL. I honestly think I'll be playing that just as much as franchise mode, almost as much as hut, probably not quite though. So like I already said, you got 3-on-3 in ESHL. There's also still 6s if you guys want that full team experience. Also guys, one of the best things about 3-on-3 ESHL is it kind of eliminates 2s. One of the things I probably hated the most about ESHL was playing with just me and somebody else. I thought it was really boring, just too many computers on the ice, especially too if you have say like 4, 5, or 6 matching up with 2s. Just kind of gets annoying. A lot of times you would just do that to try to find a quicker game. So if for whatever reason you want to play 2 still, you can do that, but you'll be limited to the 3-on-3, and then that way everyone else that wants to play with a lot more people, they'll be playing the 6s. So I think that's just better for like the ESHL community. It makes it easier to find games now, I believe. Next up here is actually a pretty cool new mode. It's the hockey training camp. This probably isn't for anyone that's watching this video. It's more for people that don't even play hockey, or maybe they play hockey but aren't really familiar with the NHL franchise. It's just going to help them better get accustomed to how the controls work. It's kind of like the on-ice trainer from NHL 17, but just even more in-depth. I think there's actually like tutorial videos now like showing what to do. And one thing I almost forgot about this, guys, is that you can actually get these videos as coaching feedback. So like let's say you're doing Be a Pro, first intermission, it'll say like, you know, you're not passing the puck enough. You probably click on like a thing that says watch video, and it'll show like one of the Hockey Canada trainers or whatever, just kind of showing you better ways to make passes, stuff like that. So obviously for people that play the game a lot, I don't think this is a big deal, but I think for people that maybe this is their first ever NHL, it could be awesome, like just trying to help them with strategy, things like that. And next here, guys, we have something I've been asking for since I think NHL 13. I might be wrong on that, but I remember way back I asked for an expansion team mode, and now in NHL 18 we are finally getting it. So it's actually better than I expected to. I thought it would just be like the option to either play as Vegas or maybe draft your team as Vegas. So if you didn't like the picks Vegas made, you could, you know, draft your own team. But on top of that, there's actually the option to be a 30-second expansion team, where you basically go into the expansion draft just like Vegas. You're going to be drafting your team after them, and you get to pick one player from every single NHL team. The computers will like auto-protect whatever players they want. You get to go through and build your team that way. So I think it's pretty awesome. I'm honestly so excited for this. Can't wait to start a series. Haven't decided yet if I'll do a 30-second NHL team or maybe do Vegas and just see what I could do with Vegas. Probably end up doing both. Like, just so many options out there, and I'm so excited for it. Like I said, so you got the 30-second NHL team. You can pick wherever you want to be. Obviously, they have all those like relocation cities already in the game from NHL 17, and obviously after you pick your city, you're good to go and start the expansion draft. And there's also the option to actually just play as an existing NHL team, but still add that 32nd team. So for instance, I could play as Detroit, have a computer take over that 32nd expansion team, and I'll actually be able to make my protection list to decide who that team can take. Obviously, I'll be protecting Mrazek and not Howard. I'll also be leaving Abdelkader exposed and hope they take that bad contract, but I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, just going to make franchise mode so much better. So you can see they actually added even more expansion locations. There was already a bunch in the last game. I think there was like 20 or something. Along with that, guys, they've actually added European cities. So if you guys are from Europe, I'm sure you'll love this. They got cities like Stockholm, Helsinki, Berlin, St. Petersburg. So I think that's awesome to see. Making your 32nd expansion team be in Stockholm, for instance, like obviously in-game, the travel or whatever probably will have no effect, but it's still really cool just thinking like your team's in Sweden playing the NHL. So I think that's awesome, as it just kind of adds to the creativity in franchise mode. And speaking of creativity, you can actually now create a mascot. So I've actually already seen this, and it's awesome. Like you can get like a lion head on a dragon body, do a bunch of like different animal combinations, things like that. Choose your colors, of course. So I think the created mascot is just gonna be so awesome to go along with like creating your new expansion team. And then right here, guys, of course, we have the Vegas Golden Knights. Like I said, you have so many options with them. You can either redo the draft and pick the players you want to pick. You can either play with the team that they have, and of course they'll be in every other game mode. So say you want like their logo or jersey in ESHL or HUT, that'll definitely be an option for you. Also, guys, I want to talk about some more franchise mode stuff that's not shown here, but it has been made public, I believe, so I can talk about it. It's a lot more of like the in-depth stuff. So first things first, we have mid-season contract extensions finally. Been asking for this for years. Obviously, it makes it more realistic and just makes it easier in terms of like dealing with your salary cap. The next thing is the top 10 NHL draft picks are now going to be more NHL ready. So opposed to the best of them being like 75 max, I think even after honestly the first 2 years where it's no longer real players, it's pretty much like all 60s, maybe you get a low 70. Now you could actually find like a low 80 guy first overall. Maybe he even gets to like an 84 by the time the season starts, who's actually like a very good NHL player. So that's awesome to see. It's a lot more realistic too. Like they were saying, kind of they have like this new young wave of NHL players, and they're all like coming into the NHL right out of their draft. But in the franchise mode, you have to wait like 3+ years minimum for your draft picks to be NHL ready. So it's gonna be a lot more realistic now, which basically means those high picks are gonna be a lot more valuable. So we'll see if the computer recognizes that or not. Will be very interesting. Speaking of the computer GMs, they're supposed to have smarter computer GMs now in terms of both like their signings. They're not going to sign 2 goalies to combine 20 million. They'll be making better trades, better draft picks. So we'll see if that's true or not. There's also supposed to be more blockbuster trades now. Teams willing to make more chances if they are going to try and make that cup run, or if a team knows their crap, they'll trade away a good player for prospects and picks to try and start that rebuild. Also, guys, they made the morale more realistic. So hopefully now if you have like a second line player playing third line, but your team is winning, it doesn't really affect him and make his overall go down, as that really never made sense. And finally, there's a new franchise mode hub. So I think that's pretty awesome. The current one definitely could have used a makeover. So I've seen the new one. I like the looks of it. I think it's definitely an improvement. And next here, guys, we have the new NHL 3s mode. So I was talking about this earlier. I think a lot of people are either going to hate it or love it. Personally, like I said, I had a lot of fun playing it against Nash, and we were both in Vancouver trying out NHL 18 for the first time. You can see here they actually have Laine, Matthews, McDavid. So again, really pushing like the younger players in this game. So a new logo for it there, NHL 3s. And like I said at the top, guys, this is more of an arcade game mode. So you got bigger hits, faster action. Obviously, this kind of reminds me of like the NHL 94 mode, except this is so much better. I think a big reason for that is obviously the new dekes. Just adds to like the creativity, being able to actually pull off a bunch of more moves. Also the fact it's 3-on-3. 5-on-5, it definitely wouldn't be as good. You'd have people running into you and stuff like that. So the open ice with all the new dekes makes it so much better. And then on top of that, they actually have a new smaller rink. So after saying open ice, you might think the smaller rink's worse, but the smaller rink creates a ton of breakaway chances, constant breakaways, especially with the bigger hits. You hit one guy to position, make a nice breakout pass. It's so easy just to get back and forth breakaways, which I think is a ton of fun, especially for like a more casual game mode like this. Like I mentioned earlier, they actually have a campaign mode. So unfortunately, NHL isn't getting a story mode like FIFA with the Journey or the new Madden one, but they are getting a campaign mode. So at least it's something, I think, especially for the single player player. This will be a lot of fun. So like I said, it's a circuit mode where you start in the Pacific Division, you play through a bunch of teams. As you play through teams, you get players to add to your team, new logos, new jerseys. You just kind of go through, just kind of basically trying to beat all these different 3-on-3 teams. Each team's different. I think you start off playing like kind of like CHL teams, I guess you could say, and then working your way up to like the final boss, which I think is Canada or something. So definitely, I think it'll be a lot of fun, especially for someone that just kind of prefers the single player mode. And next here, guys, just talking about how it's all action. So there's no offside and no icing, which leads to a ton of breakaways like I was talking about. Also, if you get a penalty, it actually gives the other team a penalty shot. So just even more breakaways. Plus, it'd be kind of dumb playing like 4v3 when it's supposed to be all about 3-on-3. Now, I believe this is only for like the threes game mode, which is the single player one. I'm pretty sure the EASHL threes has authentic penalties, so if you get a penalty in EASHL, you'll go to the box, and the other team's going to have a computer AI come on to be their fourth player. Now, I'm not positive on that, but I am pretty sure that is kind of the direction they want to go, as it kind of made more sense. ESHL is a bit more realistic, whereas obviously the 3 single player mode, it's just kind of crazy. Do whatever you want. Also, too, like, ESHL is going to have offside and icings and all that. All this, like, no rules, crazy stuff is just for the single player one. 3v3 ESHL is essentially the exact same as 6v6 ESHL, you just have 3v3, so I don't think any of these crazy rules or anything are carrying into the ESHL. I'm sure some people might have been worried about that. Like I was saying too, with the rules, in this 3 mode, you can set your own rules. So you can have a goal limit, you can have a time limit, you can have the period length, whatever you want. You can actually have it win by 2, which like I said, me and Nasher did. That was a ton of fun. Then the money puck, I honestly have no idea what that is. I don't remember that being a thing when I was there last, so that must be a new feature. That's definitely going to be cool to find out what it is. Also, guys, one other thing I want to mention about the rules. At the beginning of the game, it actually flips a coin and the winner gets to choose the rules. So I believe this is only for single-player threes. As online, that'd be kind of dumb if you just want to go online and play, like, a 10-minute game and the guy chooses goal limit of 100 goals. So I think it's just for single player. Like I said, I don't think it'd quite work for online. There's also new broadcast commentary presentation, so this is awesome. I know a lot of people have been getting fed up with Doc and Eddie, so if you want a breath of fresh air, you can go play threes. The new commentary, in my opinion, is pretty cool. He's definitely like really into it, and he has like specific sayings for specific players. They have a bunch of like, you know, new lines and stuff like that, so I think it's awesome. Also, they have new arenas just for threes. You guys can see how crazy they are. They got like flames there. The boards are glowing or whatever design's going on. Like the arena is specifically designed just for threes. So obviously this mode is much more arcadey than any other mode in the past. I'm sure a lot of you aren't gonna like it, but personally I don't mind it, but I am probably gonna play more 3v3 ESHL just because I think it might be a bit more competitive. But I do think this is gonna be a fun mode to play if you have friends that don't really play NHL that much, which I do. Obviously for the hardcore guys, probably not going to be that interested in it though. Next year we have the threes online. So this is just talking about all the new ways to play with people. Basically now you can have like a friend at your house and a friend that's like at their house, and you guys can party up with him, play online on a team against a team of 3, where all 3 of those guys could be at one person's house, all 3 could be at their own houses. It could be like a combination of the 2s. And finally here, guys, we have multiplayer. So this kind of just talks about everything I already covered. Now, one thing I forgot, you can actually do this in Hockey Ultimate Team. So I'm not positive on this. I am praying, and I'm pretty sure this is only for single players. So, like, if you have a friend on your couch, you could both play single player Hockey Ultimate Team, or you can invite a friend to play single player Hockey Ultimate Team. I do not believe it affects online. Like I kind of already mentioned, tons of multiplayer options. It says over 64 ways. It's actually like thousands of ways, well over 64. Somebody just didn't do the correct math. And then again here, just kind of reiterates, you can do it in the Hockey Ultimate Team, online versus, and NHL 3s, but you can't do an ESHL, which I think is kind of good, as ESHL is probably the most competitive of all the game modes, and kind of having like a friend play with you on the couch or doing all these different matchmaking options is definitely more of a casual thing than a competitive thing. So I like to see that, especially too, it'd probably affect a lot of like competitive leagues like LG or just any tournament or whatever, making sure the right person's playing on the right account. Anyway, guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I covered enough there. I'm trying to think if there's anything big that I'm missing, and I can't think of anything right now. Like, obviously, the 3 biggest things for this game are definitely going to be the new deeks, the 3-on-3 game modes, and then being able to play as an expansion team in franchise modes. So all 3 of those things I am more than excited for. Obviously, too, we get a little taste of Hut there with that Connor McDavid card, which I think looks absolutely disgusting. Like, it's so sick. Then we actually have gold packs now instead of yellow. Probably can't tell you guys about anything I know about Hut just yet, so if you want to learn about that, as soon as I can tell you, definitely hit that subscribe button, and I'll be sure to make a video once it's announced. And other than that, guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave the thumbs up. Also, love to hear from you guys. Are you excited for NHL 18 from what you've heard so far, or are you disappointed? Really just kind of want to see you guys' reaction on this, as I think it might be like 50-50. So, again, guys, thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more NHL 18 stuff. A ton of videos on the way. Have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.